Captains, I have missed you. This is your host, USS Endeavor. I apologize up front for taking so long to bring you the next video for the Khabarovsk in the pocket cruiser variation. I just had a hard time finding a game that showcased this to its strength, but also a game that I felt was entertaining, competitive. The struggle was real, guys, but I finally got one. I think you're going to like it. The patience and the waiting is going to pay off. So stick around. Let's take a look at our commander. Let's get ready to rumble. That's right, Captains. We have the Transformer Commander Rumble, which I have at 16-1. I need to pump more into his legendary to make them a little bit better, but he's going to help with our overall destroyer range, which is what I really like, along with Mordoff and Sims, which is going to help increase our overall HP, which you'll see here soon. We have Quick Fix in the first slot, which is going to help with any incoming splash damage, which will also give us mobility if our rudder or steering gears get knocked out. Flank Speed, adding to our overall speed, and Perceptive, which is always a good perk to have, especially with that bearing locator. And Sidestep, which is going to also help with incoming shells that may miss us. Unstoppable in the final slot rounds everything out. Aiming Systems Mod 1 in the first slot, Propulsion in the second, Steering Gears in the third, and the new feature in the fourth is our Legendary Gunfire Control Systems mod, which is going to aid in our overall range after every 30,000 damage, with an extra 5% damage on top of every kill that we obtain. On to the consumables. We are using the heal as opposed to the smoke, and we have our engine boost that we've always had. On to the survivability. 25,740 hit points is going to be our HP total, and that is mainly because of Sims in our inspiration, and he gives us a lot more health. On the artillery, we have the same amount of guns. However, our firing range, because of our new commander and build, has got us out to 15 kilometers, which is insanely far. 4.7 seconds is a little bit worse by 0.2, but that range is what makes this spicy. You can really engage targets a lot farther away, and with you being so low profile at that range, makes it hard for ships to hit you. Onto the torpedoes, the same 6 kilometer, very sneaky 0.6 kilometer detectability by range torpedoes, and 2 quintuple launchers, so 10, and but we lose that on the torpedo speed, so they're only 58 knots. Onto the AA defense, which we don't face a carrier, so not much of a stat that we really need to focus on, but it's an average AA defense that starts at 5.2 kilometers. On to the maneuverability, we have a 46.9 knots, so basically 47 for all intents and purposes. Maximum speed before the engine speed boost, which means we can get this thing above 50, which is really fast. And at the range that we can shoot these ships, it's really tough to hit this thing, and that's why I really like playing it in this format over any of the other ones. And our rudder shift time is slightly improved to 8.1. Concealment is 7.3 kilometers, which we knew it wasn't going to be good, but we're used to that. 3.8 by air and 2.9 by smoke. But we don't have any smoke to utilize, but if we were to borrow one, it's good to know that stat. And the armor, like before, is very good. It is very healthy against HE shells in that orange section at the waterline and underneath the turrets. So got to be careful with that. Use AP if you see a flat broadside. So at long last, we are finally here. And we're on the map Warrior's Path. And if you look at the lineup on the opposing team, the Daring, the Alaska, and the Schlieffen Division is headed by Gillis. The other two I don't know well enough, but I know who Gillis is. And if you also look at the gearing that's underneath Gillis, that is a super tester. You can always tell a super tester based off of their patch. If they have a Navy diver symbol in their patch, they are a person that has qualified to be a super tester, which gives them access. Wargaming gives them ships to test, that you see before they're available to the public. So that's what a super tester is. Gillis is just a well-known player, a very good well-known player in the community. So this is not going to be easy. And I'm thankful I got this video. I'm not going to spoil who wins, who loses. It's just a really good overall game. Now, we don't have any caps to contest or go for. It's not a domination game mode. It's a capture the base. And normally, I wouldn't be up for this type of game mode. It kind of tends to make the game slow down. You have no idea where your teammates are really going to go. However, I think both sides are pretty evenly matched. And because we're in the pocket cruiser configuration, I'm trying to get out here on the flank for a couple reasons. One, to be able to spot any ships, because these islands over here are great hiding spots and a lot of people like to hide behind them. Schlieffen pops up. That is a very not fun ship to go up against, especially with me being in a destroyer. But as long as I can stay at range, I don't have a problem opening up and shooting these ships. As you can see, though, the bearing locator is not on the Schlieffen. So there is something else that is far out to the left-hand side. The Schlieffen is definitely a secondary build Schlieffen, because I am over 10 kilometers away and his secondaries are opening up on me. Now, the one thing that I like about this game mode, about this play style with the Khabarovsk in this configuration, is it's very fast, it's very maneuverable, and it can launch these shells from extreme ranges. As you can see, our base range is 15 kilometers. So we can still extend out to almost 4 kilometers more. And there the Shimakaze pops up. It looks like he's kind of had enough of me running away and him not being able to hit me. And we're going to take shots at him because he's taking shots at us. And then he smokes up and disengages, because I wouldn't want to go up against a Russian destroyer that is fast and has laser beams for guns. But you can see we're still not even at max range yet, and that Schlieffen can no longer hit us with his secondaries, but we can still tag him with our guns. Now, we're not going to get a lot of damage, but we can set fires, and that is annoying. And with the Schlieffen having limited damage cons and controls, that can spell disaster for this guy rather quickly. So again, the whole point of this is to stay at range and to keep opening up. A couple reasons for that is if they're shooting at me, they're not shooting at my teammates, as you've kind of heard me say that in the past. And the other benefit is that if they're wasting salvos, then that's just damage that's not being taken off of my team as well. The Des Moines at this range doesn't scare me. He has fast firing guns, but as you're going to see here, they can't hit me. They're going to probably tag me with maybe 1 or 2 shells, but the thing that I love about this is that when you're at this max range and you're this fast, changing your speed versus actually changing your actual rudder is really, really good, because it keeps them guessing. They don't quite know where to aim. There we take a very small and light hit, but you can see all these shells are they're constantly missing. And it's not that they're necessarily bad shots. It's just, this is a really hard ship to hit. And when you can extend the range of your main guns this far out, even though your detectability as a destroyer is trash, it's very, very good at max range. So if you didn't see before, we did lose 2 ships. They were on the far side of the map. We did take out that Schlieffen, but they have another one, and that Schlieffen is a part of the division that we talked about earlier. The Des Moines is also out here. These are all dangerous ships, and if they get close enough, if I get close enough to them, that could spell disaster. The other thing is that here I kind of make a little bit of mistake. I get a little tunnel visioned on him, and I forget to turn, and I bump into the island unexpectedly. So that's a little bit of a misplay on me, but it allows the Schlieffen to get into position, and I'm going to be able to take shots at him. Always, any opportunity that I get to shoot, I don't care about getting spotted. Now I have to be aware of the fact that the Shimakaze is still out here. He's going to be dumping torps every once in a while. He's not dumping all of them. I've seen like one set, and then a little bit later I'll see another set. So he's constantly zoning, which is good. You want to do that. Here I am choosing not to shoot. I want to get this island in front of me. I kind of want to reposition, and I don't want them to see me do it. I want to get close enough to where this Shimakaze kind of makes a mistake, and that's what I'm hoping. However, I will say this: I am going to. It is going to work, but at the same time, it's not going to work. I'll explain that as it happens. There, I get spotted right there, so I know it's the Shimakaze. So now the jig is up. I might as well start shooting, which is what I'm doing. And then he pops up right there. And because all my guns are on the right-hand side, I am going to keep pursuing him and take shots at him until I can't. But unfortunately, I'm going to keep pushing into him. And this is a mistake on my part, because pushing into him, here I slow down enough to be able to evade those torpedoes. But now I'm slow. And being slow and close to other ships is bad. Very, very bad. The Des Moines is less than 10 kilometers from me, and I am not at full speed. Here I'm trying to get back up, and I'm like, okay, I pushed up way too fast, way too close, and now their shells are going to be a lot more effective against me. As you can see, they're starting to hit me, and that's why I got the heal instead of the smoke. I want it kind of as a means of recouping some of that health that I may have accidentally lost. But that was a bit of a misplay and a mistake on my part. You don't want to get super close, especially to a Des Moines that's going to start wrecking you. And there we unfortunately, we had to trade almost half of our hit points to try and chase down that Shimakaze. So whether the Shimakaze meant to do that or not, well done on his part, and a goof up on me. Here Gillis comes up in the daring. He's very dangerous in that ship. That ship is really, really good, and he's focusing our Shimakaze, and that Shimakaze is not going to be able to get away from the daring because it has hydro. It gets close enough, and it's going to be a menace. I'm just trying to help remove him off the board because I don't need Gillis around any longer than he already is. And our teammates are over here too. They're helping out as best as they can. There's a lot of action going on right here, which is why I really like it. Nothing's really in range yet for my torpedoes, but I'm assuming that Gillis might push around this corner to try and come after our Shimakaze. So I dump torps with the intent that he will push around that corner. Now, if he has his hydro running, which I'm assuming he will, he's going to see those coming, and I'm probably not going to hit him with these because they're not as fast. They're sneaky, but if you could see them coming through a hydro, then they're a lot less effective. Here, again, the Schlieffen is at range. His secondaries are going off on us, or maybe they're going off on the Shimakaze. Yeah, they're going off on the Shimakaze, but I'm going to take these free shots at him. And here my suspicions are correct. Gillis is pushing around the corner. He missed all those torpedoes, but now he's kind of in a precarious position. We have the upper hand here, and we're going to make him pay. Thankfully, because I really need him to leave. Him being alive at this stage of the game, we need to get him off the board. And so GG's to you, Gillis. You're a great player, but I'm glad you're dead. So now, if you look at the score, it's 3v6. The likelihood that we're actually going to come back and bring this back is very low. So I'm like, I don't know what else we can do here. The Schlieffen is taking shots at us. The Montana out there is taking shots at us. And here the gearing pops around the corner. And there's that super tester I was talking to you about. But thankfully, our battleship that is in their cap right now, who's contesting it, is also shooting at the gearing. And he's smoking up. He realizes he's about to go down. We take a couple more shots. We're almost dead ourselves. We lose our front turret, but we get one more turret off, and we take him out. So now there's both of those menacing destroyers are gone. The only one left is that Shimakaze that I wasn't able to take out earlier. And now I'm looking at the... we still have our 3 ships, although we're looking awfully puny with our health. There we get spotted, and it's the A gear, but we're just at the edge of our detection range, and now we go unspotted. Because we're on the cap and ours hasn't been contested or flipped yet, the score is still relatively close. So if we can take out 1 or 2 more ships, as the A gear looks like he's pushing back. So I'm going to push these a little bit ahead of him, thinking he's going to be pushing into the cap, which it looks like that's exactly what he's going to do. I need to get in there. Now it's a 2v4. And I don't think we can win, but I've got to play for the win at this point. So I've got to get onto the cap. The A gear spots me yet again. He takes a shot at us. We're going to try and turn out to negate as much of this damage. We do negate a little bit of it, but now we're just on life support. And we need these torpedoes to hit him. I'm desperate for these torpedoes to hit him. But unfortunately, they run out of range and they do not hit him, which is going to cost us. Now, I will say this. You'll see on the scoreboard that the A gear is technically going to come up last on the team. But I'm telling you right now, the A gear saves this game for the Reds. We do end up losing, but the way that we lost is actually quite crazy. You're going to see it here in just in less than a minute. This Yamato that's left, I gotta try and stay unspotted as much as I can, because if we my thought process is, well, shoot, there's not much time left, but if by some miracle we can flip this cap, we'll win, and I won't even have to shoot another shot. And if I get spotted, it's pretty much game over for me, because any real substantial hit is going to take me out. But I'm still aware of the fact that the Shimakaze is still out there. So I have my torpedoes back. However, they're not as long of a range, so I don't know how effective they're really going to be. But this last set of events is going to happen really, really fast. But you're going to see basically 4 ships go down in a matter of a couple seconds. And but I'll do my best to try and narrate exactly what happens here. The Yamato is shooting at the Schlieffen. He is going to take out the Schlieffen, but here any second, the destroyer is going to pop up right there. And so I have no choice. He's coming into the cap. I've got to gun him down. Those torpedoes that are coming towards the Yamato are going to take him out. But I'm hoping if I can take out this Shimakaze, then and go dark, I might be able to win this. So these last couple salvos look really good. I'm getting good damage on them. But right there, I go down from the A gear. I take out the Shimakaze. The Shimakaze took out the Yamato, and the Yamato took out the Schlieffen. The A gear is the one that shot me and killed me, which is why I was saying he came up clutch in the end. Even though he came up last in the team, he secured the win for the Reds. So I did get top on the team, and the Yamato that was with me in the cap came up second, really shortly behind. So we both played it really, really well. I was able to technically take out all 3 of their destroyers single-handedly, but we don't win the match. But that was a really fun, really competitive game, and win or lose, I had a blast doing it. So GG's, Gillis, and your whole division. And I don't know who the super tester was personally, but GG's to you too. Thank you again, guys, for watching. That's going to wrap up the Cobb and the whole Russian DD line. So I'm going to be starting up a new one. Thank you for being patient with me trying to get this video out. I do apologize for taking so long. I had a crazy week that just prevented me from getting it out sooner. But that's going to do it, like I said, for me today. Thank you for tuning into this series. Can't wait to start the next one. This is the USS Endeavor signing off.